How should you be interviewing your future wedding planner? Hello, my friends, and welcome back. My name is Andrea Eppolito, and we are together today celebrating life, luxury, and above all else, love. I am a Las Vegas-based wedding planner and lifestyle expert, and one of the things that has come up quite a bit on this channel is, oh my God, I hired the wrong wedding planner. Oh no, I have to fire my wedding planner. These are really, really difficult things to be faced with. And the best way to not have to deal with that is to really do the right research and to hire the right person from the very beginning. But how exactly do you do that? How do you go about interviewing a wedding planner? What should you be looking for? What should you be asking? And how should you make sure that you are finding the right person that will not only be a custodian of your money and your budget, but really what you're doing is you're entrusting someone with your future, with your memories, and with the experiences. And that's what we really need to start with. So let's talk about how to find a wedding planner and then how to interview the ones that you have found. Step number one, the internet. This is the ultimate gatekeeper, and it is your window into the world of weddings. And so whether it's Instagram, TikTok, Google, The Knot, whatever search platform it is that you are on, you want to just start looking at the work and seeing what draws your eye. Some people are really drawn to outdoors, organic, rustic. Other people find themselves looking at ballrooms, heavy floral, heavy production. It's one thing to look at something and appreciate it for being beautiful. There's a ton of work out there that I look at and I'm like, wow, that's really beautiful work. It doesn't resonate in my soul. It doesn't move me. It doesn't give me that visceral reaction of, I feel something, I feel transported, I feel transformed when I see that, but I can appreciate it as an art. So start looking at pictures and watching videos and deciding what moves you, what has an emotional connection. And then look at the wedding planners and look at the event designers that have actually produced that work. Once you find them, however it is that you find them, go to Instagram, very specifically Instagram, because Instagram should be their online portfolio. This is where your creatives are going to showcase their work. And it's really important that you're able to see the real work that they're doing. You want to read the captions. I am never a fan of just posting a picture and putting up like an icon, a heart, a flower, any type of emoji. I don't think that that tells a great story. I like to write captions that give people information, that explain why we chose a certain flower, that talks about why I wanted the lighting to be dark. Maybe I'm sharing something technical of what it took to create that floral experience in the sky, or how amazing it was when we had the Jason White Choir come out and sing. The picture and the caption should communicate something to you. It should give you an idea of who this wedding planner is and what it is that they stand for, where they place their flag in the world. And then I want you to go and read the comments. Read what people are saying to them. Look to see if they're responding back. Look at who has tagged them in images on Instagram. See what other wedding pros they're interacting with on a regular basis. And then go to their website. Now you've moved from the general internet down to their Instagram, over to their website, and now I want you to read. The website is the only piece of digital real estate that your wedding planner owns completely and fully. This is where they get to communicate to you who they are, what they believe, what they stand for. I cannot tell you how many wedding websites I go to and the planner's like, I do really pretty weddings. Well, silly rabbit, of course you do. You should. That's the very bare minimum of what you should do. They'll say things like, I make your wedding stress-free. I promise you, no matter how much you pay, no matter who you choose, a wedding is a stressful experience. And they can't make it stress-free because it's impossible. There's always going to be moments of stress. But it's the stress and it's the pressure that creates the beauty and the diamond. And so what you're really looking for is you're looking for somebody to talk to you about the journey. You want them to explain who they are, why they do this, how they see the world, how they see you. You want somebody's website to talk you through what the experience is that you can expect. It should all be setting expectations and guiding you through the process so that when you actually start, you're very comfortable and you wholeheartedly know and understand what it is you're purchasing from this particular planner. And then you want to set up a phone call and a consultation. I love an in-person consultation. Anytime I can meet you in person for coffee, for lunch, anything in the world, I am there because I feel like it's a different transfer of energy. It's a different opportunity to hear what people say, but to hear what they don't say, to watch how they move, to see how they interact with the world. There's so much you get in person. If it's not in person, then at minimum, a phone call. And here are the things that you want to ask your wedding planner. How did you get into the business? There's a story, I promise. You want to understand what it is, what your wedding planner's why is, because their why is going to be a driver that takes you through the experience. Somebody may tell you a story about having had a wedding and it was a mess and it dragged out and the timeline was terrible. And so they wanted to start this business because they wanted to make sure that no other couple ever missed their cocktail hour. That tells you that this is somebody who's focused on logistics and operations and timelines. You may have somebody that went to art school and that fell in love with the sketches and they traveled and they saw these beautiful places and they wanted to recreate things. That tells you that you're working with a designer and somebody who really wants to create beauty. You may have an emotional story, an emotional component, whatever their origin is. You need to understand what it is because that's going to be the impetus and the push that drives your wedding planning process forward. So you definitely want to start there. The next thing you want to ask them is, what is the process that I can expect you to take me through? And this isn't what's the step-by-step, it's how do you approach wedding planning? Some people approach wedding planning and they go design down. They figure out what you want and then they go out and they price it and they figure it out and they find vendors. Other people start with the budget and say, this is the number you have, this is what you can afford. Some people don't care about either. And they are really just about the fantasy and the broad strokes, and they fill in the gaps later. You need to know the type of mental organization, the onboarding, and the process that your wedding planner is going to take you through, because there is nothing worse than thinking that you have somebody who methodically is going to take you through a series of decisions, only to find out that you hired somebody who is more or less feeling things out and that they are waiting for the design to come together before they start making decisions. You need to make sure that what you expect and what your planner does are actually aligned. Pick a piece of their work and ask them to talk to you about it. Have a piece of work that they've done that you absolutely love and ask them, can you tell me about this wedding? Can you tell me about this couple? Talk to me about the budget. Why did this wedding cost X amount of dollars, whereas this wedding maybe cost less? Can you share with me 2 different weddings at 2 different price points and let me know how you approach each of them differently? Because for somebody like me, I can plan a $1 million wedding. I can plan an $800,000 wedding. I can't plan a $75,000 wedding. I'm thrilled to plan a $300,000 wedding, but my $300,000 wedding and my $1.5 million wedding, I love them both. I care about them both. I'm invested in them both. But they are two totally different trains of thought. I'm using different tools. I'm using different approaches. And so if you're a couple and you're saying, I have $300,000, the question you're really asking is, how are you going to be the best custodian of my money? How are you going to leverage that $300,000? What do you think? How do you think we're going to spend it? And the number is not as important as the experience. You may go into it saying we're going to spend 300 and you spend 350, or maybe you only spend 290. I don't know. But what's important is, do you have a wedding planner who understands the value of a dollar, who understands what it buys, and the feeling that what it has bought has created? Because really that's what you're doing. You're going through this. You're paying for time. You're paying for attention. You're paying for a level of expertise and information. You're paying for someone to guide you through something that you likely have not done very often. Most couples have never planned a wedding. Some have only planned one before. Either way, this is the only time that this wedding is going to be planned. And so as a couple, when you're sitting with your wedding planner, your potential wedding planner, what you're really saying is, how are you going to be the absolute best guardian, the best protector, the best artist, and the best manager of not only my money, but of my future memories and my experience? At this stage, you're just talking. If you reach out to I do not care who the wedding planner is. If you reach out to somebody and they won't meet with you, if you reach out to somebody and they either cannot or will not walk you through what a realistic expectation or budget is, if somebody can't explain not only what they do, but why they do it, then that is a very clear indication that this is not a person that you want to work with, not now, not ever. The only way that this works, the relationship between a couple and a wedding planner, is if it is built on a foundation of trust, respect, mutual understanding, and absolute utter clarity about how we are getting from this first conversation to the end of the experience. That's how you build legacy. That's how you create something beautiful in the world. And that is what I want you to focus on when you're talking to and interviewing your future planners. If you have any questions about getting to know planners, how you should be approaching things, what questions you are asking, please go ahead and leave a comment right down below. I read them all. I do answer them. And very often your comments and your questions are the next video that I am going to create. This community exists purely to service you because I believe that together we can celebrate life, luxury, and above all else, love. I look forward to doing that with you again next week.